In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the Gemini Jet's Spirit A320neo. We're going to be looking at, is it accurate, is it worth the money, and should you buy it? So let's get into it. Hello everybody, welcome back to another one of my videos. This is Aviation 04, and it has been a significant amount of time since I've uploaded, so I do apologize for that. I kind of just wanted a break, and I know it was a longer break, but it did feel good. So we're back, and we have a ton of models to get through soon, so I hope you stay tuned, and we're gonna get into the Spirit A320neo. So starting off at the front of the plane, you have your nose cone, your cockpit windows, L1 door, and also right underneath the cockpit windows you have Airbus A320neo. You have an antenna on top, and you have your nose gear. It could be improved upon. It's definitely not the greatest in the industry right now in terms of the Gemini nose gear for the Airbus, so hopefully they'll work on that. That is one thing that I think the mold needs help with, as well as the nose. It's honestly not too bad, but it's not as great as, let's say, NG's. Next, moving back, you have your Spirit titles. Now this is the older livery, so this is the one with the scratches. The newer livery is actually all filled in, and it's just a solid black Spirit, and it also says Spirit.com on the engines rather than Home of the Bear Fair. I honestly like the Home of the Bear Fair, but I am excited to see someone do a new livery release, so that's very exciting. And then with the Neo engines, they are quite large, so that's something that can be improved upon as well. And there is a bit of a gap in the cradle. It's not a major one. I've seen worse. This one's actually pretty good, but I know with this release in particular, the Neo, some of them have been really bad. But I got very lucky with this one, and it looks pretty good. And then if you can see in the background, you have your winglets, and it says howdy. I'm gonna get a better view of that now. So yes, it says howdy on the inside of the winglet, and it says Spirit.com on the outside. So if you're a passenger looking out onto the wing, you're gonna see howdy. Let's say you're a plane spotter, you're gonna see Spirit.com. And then you also have your main gear. They do pretty well with that. I do have to give that to them. And then you have an antenna right on the top. And then moving back to the rear of the plane, you have your vertical stabilizer with Spirit on it. Again, this is the same as before. It's the same logo. Again, with the new one, it has, that's all filled in. It's all solid black. And then you have your horizontal stabilizers. And then you have the registration with the American flag underneath. The registration on this particular aircraft is November 902 November Kilo. And then moving around to the other side, you just have the exact same thing, minus the fact that you have your luggage doors. And then what I was talking about earlier was with this cradle gap, you can see it a little more. I'll show it a little better. But you can see that there is a significant gap there, and that's apparent on a lot of their A321s, A320s. It's a lot of the A320 family. I got lucky with the other side, which is good, so I can display the one side if I need to a little more. So that's just one pet peeve that I have, is that gap is very apparent on a lot of these molds. So here's a quick look at the box. It's just a standard Gemini Jets box. You have Airbus A320neo with the Spirit logo at the bottom. On the side, you just have a CGI image, same thing. And then on the back, you just have the same thing. It is much cleaned up in comparison to some of their older boxes. You have their motto, I guess, but it's typically their branding. And then you have their social medias. On the inside of the box, you'd have where the model would go. And then one thing I really do like about the Gemini boxes are these pamphlets. They're built right into the boxes, and they just display some information about the aircraft. So if you'd like to read that, you may pause and do so. So now going over the score, I'm gonna score this out of 40 points. Starting off with graphics and the printing, I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10 because it is spot on. It's just not too complicated of a livery. So I think that's a pretty good score. But yes, it could receive a 10 out of 10. However, it's not that complicated of a livery, and there's nothing noticeable to me. If there's one thing that takes it away, it's maybe on the winglets. It's a little off-printed, but that's not a huge deal. So that's why I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. With the color, I'm going to give this a perfect score, a 10 for 10, because it is spot on. They did get it correct, and if you compare it to real life, you cannot find a difference. Yes, lighting's gonna impact it sometimes, and that's why I think some people criticize it, but I actually think they did a really good job. I think this color is better than the A321. I think they did a really good job on it, therefore giving it a 10 out of 10. Now the next category of the mold is where this model really fails, because there are so many things that are just not good with the A320 family in general. So first off, you have a really weird nose shape. The nose gear is not great. The wings are at an angle. I believe in one of my videos I said it's about a 7-degree angle. I don't know exactly what degree angle it is, but I'll measure it one time. I'm kind of curious, honestly. So the wings are kind of messed up, and with the Neo specifically, and also with the CFM engines, they are both way too oversized to be realistic as Gemini markets it. Not to mention, on top of that, you have the wing gap and the cradle gap, which is just annoying. It's nitpicky, but when you're paying $35, $40 for something, you want it in top shape. So this is why for the mold, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I know that's a bit harsh, but until they fix it, that score is gonna stay very consistent. And then finally, to conclude, we have the box. The box is very generic, however, I am giving this a rather generous score, I believe. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10, mainly because I really do like the pamphlet of information and the organization of it. If it was messy, like the older boxes, and it did not have that pamphlet, it would probably be a 5 or a 4 out of 10. But I'm giving this a generous score of a 7 out of 10 for the box. So with that, the Spirit A320neo by Gemini Jets scored a 31 out of 40 possible points. That equals out to a 78%. I don't think it deserves that. I don't think it is a C in terms of alphabetical grades. I do think it is more of a B. If I had to give it a score, well, I just gave it a score, but not with the calculator, I would give it probably an 82 to an 85. I'd say it's more of a B in terms of alphabetical grading, because this is the first of the kind. Yes, Aero Classics did it, but this is the first time a major manufacturer has made a Spirit model in a while, aside from the A321. So this is the first A320 family, well, I guess the A321 counts, but the first A320neo or A320 that's been made in quite some time. So you do have to give credit where credit is due, seeing that they were very proactive in getting this out. So those are my thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this model if you have it, and what you like and dislike about it. And with that, I would really like to thank you for watching this. I really hope you enjoyed. I apologize, it's been a very long time. Honestly, it's just been nice to have a break off. So it's good to be back though. I'm really excited for the future. I have a ton of models that are gonna be having reviews soon. And I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed, as that pushes it out to more audience. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.